Welcome back to the Believe in Badger Football podcast on the Believe Podcast Network, presented by betonline.ag. Once again, I'm Matt Perkins, joined, as always, by Badger legend, the Hebrew Hammer himself, Matt Bernstein. Bernie, how we doing today?
I don't know. I'm up and down. I mean, we had a loss in Wisconsin and a win in Wisconsin. It's very bizarre. That's the Jets. I can't believe they won at Lambeau. But we're not here for that. We're here for the Badgers. And, I know you got to do an ad read, but I'm excited to talk about it. I feel like everyone's probably going to be really down on this team, but I'm not. And I'm not down on what I'm seeing in the media and people leaving. We'll talk about it, but I'm more excited about what Jimmy's building than listen, the product on the field was so much better than we've seen before. So we will talk about that here in just a minute. Before we get into it, Ron will remind everybody that we are brought to you by betonline.ag, our presenting sponsor. They are your number one source for all your football betting needs this season. With the latest odds, matchup info, player news, and game trends, they are your continued source for all sports wagering info. They've got live betting, free contests, live scores, giveaways all season long, and more. They're the fastest and easiest way to bet your favorite sports and events like MLB, MMA, tennis, boxing, golf, and most importantly, football. Head on over to betonline.ag to receive your 100% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to receive your rewards when you register. Bet Online, where the game starts. Burn, Monday morning fullback time, 15 minutes on the clock to talk about what we saw this weekend. You mentioned you were feeling a little bit better than most people. I am too, and that is because despite the loss, the team played really freaking hard. Dude, yes. Listen, they fought. They were competitive. We went to Michigan State. We probably at the beginning of the year had no chance of even competing in that game. And I'm just thrilled. We went into double overtime. I think we made way too many mistakes to win, but we'll talk about that later. Even look at Graham Mertz threw that pass that was to nobody but Michigan State and then shook it off, and the next throw was a touchdown. I don't love to see that, but I love to see him bounce back like that. Braylon Allen was playing hard. These guys had three backs. The O-line is still a huge concern for me, but they look like they are working and getting a little bit better each day. Too many penalties obviously kills our team. Special teams, I'm going to stay on that little pillbox of mine. It's god-awful, and they haven't done anything. They haven't done anything to change it, and I hate it. I mean, we gave up a touchdown, and we're lucky it got called back. I mean, lucky. And it's every week something happens in that. So I love the competition. I love the attitude these guys are showing. I think we are playing at a higher level. Listen, I didn't even hate the Wildcat this time, which was very confusing for me. Now, I do hate it on first and 10.
Mixed reviews, my friend, mixed reviews. Okay.
1st and 10, I can't believe we're doing it. Okay, I'll let you speak.
So I want to just talk about a couple of the things that I would say need improvement.
We're going ugly first, or we're going bad first?
I'm going, I guess I'll go ugly first. The ugliest thing was the cornerback play. I don't know if it's scheme. I don't know what it is. But the corners got burned a lot. And in the secondary, Kamoy Letu continues to be a stud, but I think the guys around him have been boomer bust. We've seen Ricardo Hallman have one of the best interceptions I've ever seen. I think it was either against Washington State or New Mexico State, over the shoulder, one hand. And then he had a couple of pretty clear and blown assignments here in this game, as he has in a couple of the other games. Jay Shaw, same sort of thing, right? And so it's tough because I think the front seven, Burn, you and I were talking about this yesterday when we were on the phone. The front seven's playing awesome. The front seven is fantastic. Even without Zay Mullins, I thought James Thompson was a beast all game long. I was really impressed with all those guys. Herbig continues to be, just a football player. He plays the game of football, regardless of position, as well as anybody does. So, but the corners and some of the safety play left a lot to be desired. It just getting beat over the top again and again and again, and it happened last year too. And it's tough to watch as a fan.
What's crazy is on two of the touchdowns, those dudes were standing in the perfect spot. Well, on the one that Jalen Berger threw in the first play in overtime, that dude could have knocked it down. I feel like he could have knocked it down or possibly intercepted it. We're in the right place. We're in the right, like Jimmy sets these guys up to be in this position to make a play. On the last play of the overtime, Hallman was standing literally right there and just couldn't make the play. So, it's a little bit of an experience. It just is, it's tough to watch, like when we're in this extremely, high competitive pressure situation and we're not making these plays. But again, the front seven, I think was stellar. I mean, Jalen Berger to me is a great football player. I really enjoyed him on our team. I thought he would have a good day. But listen, we did everything. The defense did everything to win.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you, but let's talk about the offense and let's talk about the offensive line play because
Herbie's so good though. That dude's everywhere. They drop him back. He makes plays. Fourth down, he makes plays. It's like, listen, I loved watching. I mean, this game was exciting. People were going for it in fourth down in places I would have said.
Oh
no
yeah,
way.
no, it was
Jimmy
definitely
was
exciting. Okay. Let's just say I'm just going to say that the offensive line is not a vintage unit. And I'm going to move off the ugly because like part of my growth as a person is I'm trying to be more positive just all the time. So let's talk about these positives, Bern. Let's talk about the positives. First positive that I want to say is that despite only have three running backs healthy, Allen, Garendo, and Nowakowski, who's a fullback, running backs played really hard. I thought the ground game didn't suffer a ton, suffered a little bit. Surprised we didn't see the Vinny Anthony jet sweep again because that was effective last week. But it just at the end of the day, we
did see a jet sweep that went for a first down on a 4th and 10 or something crazy.
But I don't know.
Here's
I guess, especially with all those running backs injured, I would have expected to see the wide receivers run the ball more. They didn't. With that being said, the running back still performed very, very well. Braylon was great. Isaac was good when he was in there, especially in pass protection. He was blocking as well as most of the offensive linemen.
Yes. I thought here's the thing. We always have a guy running free. So it's you watch some double teams. Both guys came off of the double team to go up to the second level and left their nose guard or their tackle in the hole, unblocked at that point. So we have a lot of mistakes. To me, you watch these dudes come off the ball, they look like they're at least becoming more and more, monsterish. I guess if that's a word. So I'm excited to see, the continued progress of this team. But I think the O-line needs to really step up their game. Yeah. They missed some blitzes. They're
penalties.
The penalties is the mental errors is
the
killer.
Pre-snap penalties are the real killers.
They're the killer because we're not a team that can get 15 yards normally.
No.
And it puts us in a situation that
honestly, it's a weird situation for me, right? Because I actually have more faith right now if Graham drops back. If he's in the shotgun on 3rd and 15, I actually have weird more confidence in that than I do in 3rd and 6 to hit something with timing, right? Because if he gets enough time, Graham throws a downfield ball as well as anyone we've had at Wisconsin in a while. Down a good middle intermediate deep passing game. He throws it as well as anyone. He hasn't had the time to throw those balls when he's not in the shotgun. So,
they're right. He hasn't had the time, and first down, second down, we're still running a lot.
And that was my issue was that, I joked that Coach Christ was back as the coordinator again because it just felt like run, incomplete pass or run. It's 3rd and 8. And now we're behind the sticks. And it's tough because last game we saw so much innovation from Ingram, and I felt like we just went back to basics again this week.
We controlled the line of scrimmage. So could it be we're not controlling the line of scrimmage?
Yes, it could be. But then if you're not controlling the line of scrimmage, you have to figure out. But don't you have to figure out a way to work around that? Then, if you're not controlling the line of scrimmage, and that is with more creative designs and play calling.
You're right, but if guys are coming free, and they were coming, Graham Mertz
yes,
on the
they
ground
were.
A lot.
He was.
I mean, you're talking about we can't block our plays. So how do you call plays? As an offensive play caller in high school, it's hard to call certain plays when you can't make the block or do. They have a stud out there. You can't do it. It's really hard. We called a lot of the same run plays in the same situations. The other team, Michigan State knows what's happening. They had 8-9 guys in the box on some plays. They were walking a safety down. We need the O-line to step up their game. It's telling when you're doing the Wildcat on 1st and 10 a number of times, right? To me, it's saying we cannot block or run our normal offense. We have to be a little gimmicky to confuse the defense. To me, that hurts. Did you see that play that Jalen Berger did, like where he took 2 steps to the left and then ran back? 2 times they ran it.
Oh, yeah.
2 huge plays on us.
Yeah.
That is, to me, I would love to see a play like that. I think Isaac Garenda would be gone.
Yeah.
Like a speedy dude. That's a speedy type of I love that play. I actually wasn't as upset with the play calling, only because on every single play, there was a green jersey breaking through our line or in the way.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong there, but I could still get frustrated by it, I guess, is what I'm going to
Listen, I love our wide receivers. I love them. I think they're only going to get better.
DK and Bell are both studs.
They're great. They're studs.
Bell, I feel like, is going to snatch everything out of the air that is thrown anywhere remotely near him. I have so much faith in that guy, and I see why he's the starter.
I'm sure that they're going to watch the film, and then you watch the receiver. We used to watch Carlos Rogers sometimes and be like, golly, this dude is unbelievable. When you have Carlos Rogers and Lee Evans in a game, it's amazing. You're going to watch these guys and say, and it would just be a coaching point saying, dude, look at these guys go and get the ball. You guys, there's nothing that says that our guys can't do what they did to us.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing. I think our guys are that good. I actually think that Graham Mertz has been playing much better.
I would agree, except for,
throws I'm so confused on.
There were a couple throws. The one
I think 2.
The one that was to 2 Michigan State defenders, basically in the end zone, that should have been
with
picked.
nobody around. Like even on replay, you couldn't see a soul there.
No,
within
20 yards. And there was another pick that should have been dropped. The pick that he did throw was just a bad decision. He's just got to eat it. But the other pick that should have been thrown, that was, again, 2 green jerseys, 3 green jerseys, like maybe 1 Badger kind of close, but it was another bad one. And those are the ones that I don't mind. I mean, no one likes turnovers. No one likes when your quarterback throws an interception, right? But some of them I don't mind when he's trying to fit into a really tight window using sort of like the arm arrogance that he has, right? I don't mind that as much as I mind the ones I'm like, I don't know what you're seeing. And this is high school level. This is like JV high school level stuff.
Listen, everyone makes a mistake.
I know everyone makes a mistake, but like Graham in his 4th year, 3rd year as a starter, who like that it's so egregious that it's
I am just
going
to say to throw an interception when you have a guy you think he's open and it just happens to be an interception,
or it's a tip or whatever.
Listen, it sucks. Those things suck. But so that's why I'm only saying 2 passes, because 1 literally in overtime to lose if that guy caught it. Like it went through that dude's hands and the guy behind him it looked like he was ready to catch a punt. It was that easy. It was like a layup, which I miss all the time. So he might've dropped it too. But so that throw is very concerning to me because it just doesn't make sense in the grand scheme of like, what the heck are you seeing? The second, the other one earlier, yes. So those are three potential picks that ruin a day, that ruin the Badgers' day.
Yeah.
And they one hurt us. The other one obviously was a drop, and then we scored on the next play. I love the perseverance and like the resolve to then go and throw it again.
Yep.
I mean, I think that's Bobby Ingram saying, listen, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what? It happened, and we're going to do something better. I'm actually very happy. You can say what you want to say. I'm happy to see what the coaching looks so much better to me.
Okay.
I mean, on offense, on defense, listen, the dudes are in the right position. They missed a ton of tackles. That's not Jimmy Leonard. Like you can only coach so much, and then dudes have to do it.
Yep.
We missed a lot of tackles. We had a lot of penalties. That one penalty was a pass interference, and it was on 4th and 4. Like our corners got abused, and it's a learning tape, and they're going to be better. But the corners were in position to make plays, and they just didn't. I think that's success for not in total success, right? We didn't win, but in Jimmy Leonard saying, dude, you guys are standing right by the ball. If you put your arm up in a different angle or here or look, do something, those are incompletes. Maybe it's a pick. I am actually very excited about a lot of different things. I think the corners need to step up, and I think the DBs in general need to step up, and I think the O-line. Those are huge parts in a game, but I would say there's no part that's not huge.
Yeah.
But to me, the coaching looks so much better.
Don't forget about the special teams. Okay, Burton, we have we have like about a minute and a half left. What are you looking? You're going to be in Madison this weekend for homecoming against Purdue. Woo! What are you looking forward to most?
Besides seeing like a lot of dudes I played with and, like rekindling, I guess, and, the brotherhood after so long, dude, I'm excited for this Badger team. I think they're coming back. There was 2 road games during absolute banananess, and they're going to come back to Madison. They're going to be excited. Listen, the culture has changed. You're seeing dudes get kicked off the team who are doing things that Jimmy is not okay with. And Logan Brown has had a bunch of incidents, as we've kind of figured out. We're not 100%, but you don't have to say anything because you do a lot of other things where you have to be like on point. But the hammer can just hammer away at things. I don't have to I can say whatever I want pretty much. But listen, a cancer in the locker room, toxicity is horrible for a team.
Yep.
Right? It's not the NFL. You don't go home and disappear. Like that guy goes and hangs out with the team. Jimmy Leonard's creating something. So that's, listen, Logan Brown, I hate to see you go, but hey, Marcus Allen, I don't want you to leave. But if you feel that you're not part of this culture, I don't really want you to stay either.
There was a really interesting quote last year from Colin Wilder about guys, hitting the transport portal mid-season and really piecing out without even like saying goodbye to the rest of the team and saying what's happened. And his quote was basically, if you're going to do that, don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out. And
yes,
I
totally
don't disagree with that at all. I think that especially I don't want to say this is a crisis per se, but it's not the easiest time for Wisconsin Badger football. And, if you're not going to be, completely bought into the vision, you might be, I don't want to say a detriment at this point, but it's not, you need to be working together as a team towards one common goal. And, I hate that Marcus Allen is transferring because he's a super talented receiver that I think could have done really, really big things. I would have liked to have seen him have more opportunities, but it just hasn't been there. We know the same thing happened with my guy, Devin Chandler, last year, a guy who I was super duper high on, but this is going to happen in the contemporary age of college football. Guys are going to hit the portal. Guys are, for better, for worse, are going to believe that they have, better opportunities, chances elsewhere. And that's fine. Wisconsin will take advantage of the transfer portal. They already have for some key players and positions. Just look at Kamoy Letu. He's been one of the best defenders. We didn't pick him up until May. He wasn't a Badger until May. He wasn't on campus until summer camp, and he's been arguably the best and most consistent member of the secondary the entire season. So it's not like the transfer portal is just a negative. It stinks to watch these guys, these kids, leave, but it's a fact of life. It's
the landscape of NCAA football.
Yeah.
That's it. They've created the NIL, and I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm actually for it, and I'm for the transfer portal in the way it was built to help people who felt uncomfortable where they were or really hated their situation. Now with social media, you can put out a letter that says, "I love everyone in Wisconsin," and then say, "But I'm out of here. Like I love my brothers, I love everyone. Coach, great." What I thought was interesting in the Marcus Allen thing was he's like, "Hey, Coach Chris, thank you," and all the other coaches. So that seems like he's just not part of Jimmy's fit. I'm literally speculating here, and I'm just going off of what I read. But in the day and age of social media and the transfer portal, you do not need to stand in front of your team and say, "Listen, guys, I'm don't feel comfortable here, and I'm going to leave." You don't have to talk to coach. You don't have to do these things. Listen, I'm all for it, Marcus. I wish you the best.
Absolutely. I want all these kids nothing. I want nothing but the best for every single kid.
Logan Brown, the best of luck.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know what? I am excited about what Jimmy's building and the culture and the whole entire character of our team will be different every single day that he's in front of those kids. You saw the passion he had in the game, right? Like, you don't see Coach Chris wasn't like that. I'm not saying good or for bad, but Jimmy is passionate. He coaches hard, and he kind of chills. And I love to see him on the side. I know we're way over, talking to the other coaches. Like, that to me is already a huge win.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the fight these dudes have.
Yep.
They had a bomb go off at Camp Randall when their head coach who recruited them got fired. And they have done nothing but impress me. Even though we lost, to me, it's impressive. These guys are in the position to make plays. We fought to double overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not normal. We're at Michigan State. They're not a bad team. They have been playing really bad, but they're not a bad team.
They're a preseason top 15 team for a reason.
Exactly.
So,
and I just can't give it up enough. Listen, I'm excited to see what they do. Another week, another practice week, homecoming. People are going to be absolutely, I don't even know, just crazy. I'm going to be on pregame in the field. I will not be as crazy as I would. I got to respect it. But man, I'm excited to just be there and see the Camp Randall and like all the good things that happen. Like, let's go whoop some ass, some Boilermaker.
Burn, you've got me excited for the future of the program, and so I'm going to quote the great American poet and philosopher Andre 3000 to say, "Spaceships don't come equipped with rearview mirrors." And with that, we're going to wrap it up here today on Monday Morning Fullback. He's the Hebrew Hammer, Bernie. Matt Bernstein, he'll be in Madison this weekend. Go say hi to Bern. If you're there for a homecoming, he'll be tailgating. He'll be out amongst the people. Hit him up on Twitter at what are we at? Bernie H. Ammer. I don't know. There's some underscore in there. You know how to find us.
I thought an underscore was cool at one point, and it is the most annoying thing.
I've got two of them. I have two of them in my handle at the beginning and the end. I thought it was so cool in 2011 when I made my handle.
It was so cool at one point, and then I have two also. I think it's Bernie _H
Hammer. Yes, it is. 45. That's what it is.
And it's like, what the heck? I wish someone could go back and be like, you made a couple mistakes in life. One is those two underscores is definitely
because underscore is 3 syllables to say every single time, and it's annoying.
It's so annoying. I should have taken the rock underscore. I'm kidding. I just love The Rock. But yeah, guys, come find me. Let's go crazy. Let's make that place electric, and let's support Jimmy and the team. I mean, you're seeing something that is much better than the previous 3 games. Let's not count New Mexico, because literally my mom's Torah class could have beat them. So there's that.
All right. Well, as the Purdue Boilermaker Express goes by my window as we're speaking here, and I will be watching the game with my neighbor and good friend who is a Purdue alum. So this is going to be interesting for me. Nonetheless, we're back later this week with a special guest. And until next time, he's Bernie, I'm Perko, and on Wisconsin.
On Wisconsin.